Hey guys, it's winter. You're a window cleaner. Let's just get right into the first tip. Get yourself some washer fluid. Take the cap off. Drink it all. Just drink as much as you can. You're not going to be able to get it all the first time. Just go for it. Now, for some reason, you want to stick it out and you don't want to drink washer fluid and you want to try to window clean in the winter. Well, get some washer fluid anyway. Specifically, -20 degrees. Because when it gets to freezing, this is what's going to keep your solution from freezing. When you're at 32 degrees, that's what water freezes at in America. Other places it's 0 degrees. I hope you know that was a joke. 32 degrees is when you're going to start to get problems with straight water. So when you're at 32 degrees and a couple below that, start putting this in it. You can mix different ratios, but when you're at 32, I'd put about half and half, and you'd probably be totally fine. So 32 down to 20 is when I would try mixing this with water. When you're getting to 20 though, like that's gonna be pushing it. Like, so 20 and below, I'm definitely using straight washer fluid. I'm done with the water. There's no water. My checklist. There's no water in my solution when it's 20 degrees. A little above, still no water. You're just gonna have issues with it. So once you switch to all of this, you're gonna go through real quick at first. Because we go through water really quick, right, as window cleaners, especially if you use a bucket. Now, I'm gonna get into this later, but we're not really gonna use a bucket for this in the winter because this gets expensive. This is about $2.50 to $3 per gallon, and that can get expensive when you're using a couple gallons a day. So, yes, so I'm gonna get in that later, what we're gonna do instead of a bucket. But yeah, so when you're getting to like 20 degrees and below, maybe even a little bit more than that, you're gonna go straight to this. A thing to remember, yeah, this is literal poison. So just to give you some perspective, 1 teaspoon of this is enough to make a grown man go blind from ingesting it. You're not gonna go blind if you get it on your hands, because I've gotten a ton on my hands this year and I'm still seeing good. But you don't want this touching you, really, if you can help it. And you definitely don't want it. You definitely don't want to ingest it. Yeah, like I said, this is basically a giant, very bad batch of moonshine. Methanol alcohol that will literally make you go blind. So keep that in mind. If you're working with poison, and also if you're in restaurants, try not to use this inside, especially if you're like going over tables and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm sure people do it. I've done it once or twice. You shouldn't do it because, again, literal poison. But you know, obviously you're not dripping, and even if you were, you're wiping it all up. So just don't use this inside if you don't have to, especially in a house, because this has dye in it, which if you do get a drip, it'll stain a carpet, unlike soapy water. So yeah, that's washer fluid. So as far as storage goes, you're gonna want a pump sprayer. This is a Roundup, 1 gallon. Now, I've been using this for a while anyway, but the reason you want this is because you're gonna go through a lot less water. By spraying this on the window and just scrubbing and going from there, you're only using exactly what you need instead of dipping it into a bucket where it's sopping wet, you know what I mean? And you're wasting a lot of water that way. So you can get this pretty much anywhere. It's like a weed pump sprayer. It's like 15 bucks. Or you can buy a little one. They sell them at Lowe's for like $8. So you just pump it up and you can spray, but you'll have to fill those up a lot more often. This I can go all day with. 1 gallon sprayer. Yeah, so this thing is awesome. And don't put your soap in here too, because sometimes you're gonna forget this overnight and it won't freeze if it's just washer fluid. So what do you do with your soap? Well, you don't want that. This is what will happen when you leave this in your truck overnight. So obviously this happens in the morning, you got a job, you're screwed, right? Because it literally, it's ice. So what I'll do with this is I'll bring this inside. I'll have a bucket of just wet stuff that I bring in the house every night. I'll throw this in there, but if I didn't, it's not the end of the world. When you start your car in the morning, and you should be starting your car in the morning before you get going in the winter, just for reasons, throw this down by the feet where the heat's coming out, and you can thaw this right out. Sometimes, actually pretty quickly, like before you even get to your job. So that's what I've been doing, because I keep forgetting to bring this inside, so I just toss it down by the feet. Cool. So that is the next thing. Gloves in the winter. You need gloves. You need waterproof gloves, and you need warmer gloves than you would think you need, because those gloves are going to get wet, and then they're going to lose some of their insulating properties, especially if it's cotton insulation, which would be kind of garbage if they were. But I would expect to spend around $70 on a nice pair of gloves. That's what I did. I know you can get them cheaper. Some places make gloves cheaper, and you can, waterproof, and it's like latex. But you definitely want something waterproof and something that is warmer than you think, because you're going to be holding on to a metal pole, and it's going to be wet, and it's going to be literally freezing, and if your fingers get cold, you can't even work, and you're screwed. And you're just miserable, and it sucks. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. There's the main tips. Washer fluid, bring your soap inside, pump sprayer. Don't drink the washer fluid, or do drink the washer fluid, but if you're not going to drink the washer fluid, then don't drink it so you can work. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. A couple window cleaning tips for you guys. Stay cold. I mean warm. You will stay cold, but try to stay warm. All right. Thanks.